What's going on, y'all? How everybody been, man? You know, just got done eating Wendy's. Now I'm going for a walk. Hold on, man. Let me go and pause this. These motherfuckers talking about. I don't know what they talking about. Hold on. Yeah, you know how them old dudes be, especially them old black dudes. You know, just sit around, just talk about. Just it's just nothing really. But they were talking to each other though, and I ain't wanted their conversation all in my video. But yeah. I really don't make videos like that no more. But just came in to check in with y'all. Currently homeless. I don't know if y'all saw my community tab. Is that's what? No. My community post on YouTube. I explained the whole situation. But yeah, I don't make videos like that no more. But yeah, just wanted to talk to y'all. But yeah, like I said before, homeless. I'm homeless, and it is what it is. I guess I left my parents' house. I left my parents' house not too long ago. I left my parents' house the week before last. This damn truck beeping. But yeah, I left my truck. Not left my truck. I left my parents' house, my mom and my stepfather. I left their house like a week and a half ago, almost 2 weeks ago. Got into a big argument. They basically, I don't think they like me anyway, but they were just talking about how, I've been out of a job for a while, and they was pretty much shaming me for everything, shaming me for, because it's one thing to give criticism, but when you give criticism, you say things that about a person that can help them. And it's usually something that they've never thought about or that nobody really knows. But the stuff they were telling me was shit that I already know. So that's why I say it was really shaming. Talking about the fact how whenever I get a job, I can't really keep it. Talking about the fact that I don't have a job at all. Just period. They were indirectly calling me a failure because I don't have a career. They were indirectly calling me a failure because I'm in my late 20s and I still live with them. I don't know, man. I'm currently at a shelter right now. The first time it did happen, I slept outside for a couple days. Now I don't think I'm gonna go that way. Turn this way. Yeah, man, he just was talking to me in a hostile type of way. Real hostile. How you doing, sir? All right. Talking to me in a real hostile type of way. They wouldn't really let me get a word in. They wouldn't let me get a word in, and every time they asked me a question, they would cut me off while I'm talking, and like I said, they wouldn't let me get a word in, and then when they do listen at the stuff that I'm saying, they kind of take what I'm saying and spin it around and hear what they want to hear and take what they want to take out of what I just said. Purposely try and misunderstand what I'm saying. I hated that too. I just got up and left, man. That same night. They technically didn't put me out. I left. So I guess you could say technically it is, technically I chose to be homeless, I guess. Because I did just walk out and left on my own. I've been trying to tell them. I've been trying to look for a job for for the longest. They wasn't trying to hear it. They kept telling me that, they basically was telling me it's no excuse, really. They was telling me how, because whenever I kept telling them my reasons, and whenever I kept telling them that, I was looking for one, and, it's like they didn't want to hear it, man. But, my parents are like, early Gen Xers. They're pushing 60. They're pushing 60. I'm a millennial. I know a lot of my watchers are, a lot of people that watch my channel are millennials and Gen Z, but my parents are Gen Xers, but they're early Gen Xers though. That's the thing. They're not boomers, but they're early Gen Xers. They're like a few years younger than boomers. But yeah, I kept telling them that, I can't seem to find a job, and when I do find a job, it don't make a lot of money, like right now, or hell, they don't make hardly much of any money at all. And I kept telling them that shit, and they basically kept telling me that, it's no excuse, and they kept telling me that it's no excuse, and they kept telling me that is it's no excuse, and they kept cutting me off while I was talking, man. This shit was just crazy. They kept telling me that it's that all I got to do is just stay on the job long enough, and maybe I'll get a raise or something. And I'm telling them that that's not how the shit works, and they kept telling me yes it is, and just basically not want to hear anything I have to say. My stepfather says he don't like the fact that I stay in the room all day and don't leave the room. He said I just sit in the room all day and don't do nothing, which is true to an extent. Yeah, that's true. I can agree on that. Because at one point I used to go out my backyard, go in the backyard and just chill out and rest my nerves, or go for walks. But I don't even do that no more. I think that got something to do with the cold. I think the cold weather, had a lot to do with that. But my mom used to have, this one friend that she knew from high school. But she went to prison. She went to prison a long time ago, and we kind of all of us kind of lost touch. But I used to hang out with, all of us used to be together, me, her and her friends, and my mom's. Her, and her kids used to always hang out, and my mom, kids, and her used to always be together. They knew each other, but they met each other in high school. And when they met each other in high school, after high school, I guess they kept in touch, and they started being around each other. She was there when I was born. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because the reason why I'm bringing this up is because she works at a shelter. She works at a shelter, and the shelter she works at is the one where I'm at now, and she I don't know where y'all from, but in Georgia, homeless shelter charges fees. So you got to pay a weekly fee, to live there. And she hooked me up with this job, man. And she had a couple of places in mind, but this job in particular was the only one that I was able to get, fast in a hurry. But man, it don't really pay me shit. I don't get a lot of hours. Really, I don't get hours at all. I don't even work 6 hours a week. Not 6 hours a week. I don't even think I work 6 hours a day. It's just fucked up, man. So now I got a job finally, but it's nothing that I really can do with it. I can't do nothing with it. Once again, because I get paid so low, man. And it's like you get to a point in time. I know a lot of NEETs. A lot of people that's a NEET can can definitely relate to this, but you get to a point where you just say fuck this shit, man. You just choose not to do nothing because it's like it's like why put in the work if we ain't gonna get nothing out of it. It's like you working, you have a job, and but you can't do anything with it. It's insane. It's insane, bro. Like I've never thought it would come to this, but it has, and I wouldn't wish it on. I wouldn't wish it on anyone, bro. But yeah, that's how that situation went, man. That's how that situation went, and I don't really know how I feel. Like, I would say that I don't like the situation. I don't really like it. But it's like I already knew that it was coming, that it was bound to happen. So my frustration is just different, you know what I mean? I don't know where y'all at, but here where I'm from, it's St. Patrick's Day and shit, and got a lot of tourists out today. It's nice to see the people out and shit. It's cool. But yeah, I actually haven't spoken to them since. I haven't spoken to them since, and I believe that was Saturday. I haven't spoken to them since Saturday. I haven't spoken to them since Saturday, and it's like, they don't reach out to me. I don't really reach out to them, It's like they don't call me, and like I had a cell phone. I was on this family plan. My mom, she used to do like deliveries for groceries, kind of similar to Instacart, but at the time she used to take groceries to this one lady that she used to deliver at. And to make a long story short, the lady used to work at AT&T and was telling her about these cell phones. They had like a little family plan. I think I did a video about this when I had this iPhone. But anywho, my sister put a tracking device on my phone so she'll know where I'm at if something happens to me, something bad happens. And yeah, when that situation happened, and when I was, about to leave the house, I gave this cell phone to them. And, I told my mom, like, look, when I wasn't living here, you wasn't calling my phone. Even when I had a birthday, you didn't text my phone or nothing, When I wasn't living with my mom in 2021, she basically she never called my phone. I think I went like 6 months without living with her, and yeah, she didn't call my phone or anything, and she didn't text me or nothing. Even I had a birthday. I think I turned 25 that year. I had a birthday, and she didn't even text my phone. She didn't come by to see me or anything. Even when my sister moves out of shit, she talked to her almost every day, and she goes to see her sometimes too. But when it come to me, she don't do none of that. Like right now, like I said, I haven't spoken to them since. She don't text me, she don't call me, none of that. She don't say, hey, look, we just got through cooking at home. We got some leftovers. I was just wanting to bring you some food to eat. She don't do none of that. She don't, call and hey, just for checking to see if you're all right or whatever. And that's the thing. When I left them my cell phone, when I told my mom that, she don't call and text me or anything like that. So what's the point of her? You know what I'm saying? What's the point of that? What's the point of me having a phone so you can keep track of me? And I left her the phone, and I see like maybe 3 days later or so, she gave the phone to my godmom, the lady I told y'all about earlier. That was my mom's friend a long time ago. And we called her auntie back then, but now she told me to call her godmom, so I just called her that. But yeah, she gave it to my godmama, gave the phone to my godmama like 3 days ago, telling her that, she wanted to give me this because she gonna be worried about me, and she's gonna be worried about me, and if something bad was to happen to me, I can just call or make some type of phone call or something. And I just think it's BS, man. It's like, it's like I said, it's like if that's the case, then why haven't I heard from you? Why haven't I heard from you? You know what I mean? Why haven't I heard from you? Why ain't heard from you? If that's the case, you know what I'm saying? Hey, if you guys was paying attention to this video, that was a gay couple. Remember, it was these two dudes holding hands, and I did like that when I was walking on the sidewalk. That was a gay couple. Y'all couldn't see their face though, cause I, obviously I looked at them from behind with the camera, with the cell phone. But they was cute though. Both of them. Well, wait, I don't think. Yeah. I don't know. I think they might be, because they were in like I guess they was coming from the parade or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, they were gay. They was gay. I wish people was more openly gay when I was going to high school or college or whatever the fuck. Early 20s, whatever the fuck. I wish people was more, openly like that. But speaking of that, man, I don't know if I want to make that into another video, but man, I was in Wendy's eating not too long ago, and it was these 3 dudes. I don't know if they were gay or not, but one of them was Asian. Oh, he was so fine, bro. He was sexy. He was like 5'4", 5'3", 5'5". He was no taller than 5'5". I'm gonna just say that. Yeah, he was fine as shit. And it makes me mad because, by them being complete strangers, I know that I would never see them ever again in life. And one of the dudes was walking to the bathroom, so I was walking too, and I wanted to, pick my hair out. I have a pick for my hair, I went to pick it out in the bathroom, but one of the dudes saw me that the Asian guy was with that I liked. The other guy that was with him. He was walking to the bathroom as I was walking behind him because I had to go pick my hair out. This motherfucker turned around, looked at me, and speeded up. And then when he got in the bathroom, he closed the door and he locked it. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not finna do nothing to you, bro. What are you doing, bro? Like I'm a damn. I hate how people treat me in public. That's why I don't go out that fucking much no more. Just fucking look at me and stare, and somebody sneeze, I say bless you. The motherfuckers just don't even respond. People barely look at me. If they do, it's like they look at them for 2 seconds and then they turn around and go back to whatever they was doing. They don't even acknowledge me like I'm not even here. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do, man. It don't seem like my life is getting any better. It really don't. It don't seem like it's getting any better. But yeah. I think that's all I want to say, man. Yeah, I don't think my life getting no better. I've been thinking about taking myself out a lot lately because it seems like this is the only way. This is the only way that I can get through this type of pain. Oh yeah, in that whole situation that happened, my mom kept gaslighting me the whole time. She was lying in my face too. She kept my stepfather was saying certain things to me, and then when I would say it back, my mom would get mad at me like I'm the bad guy, and she would respond to me as if my stepdad didn't say or do the same shit. But she automatically, saw when I said or did what he did what I did. You know what I'm saying? Even though when he said and did the same shit that I've done. And she was smirking in my face too. She was smirking in my face and shit the whole time, as if she thought it was entertaining. But yeah. Anyways, like I said, I don't know where my life. I don't know, bro. Like, I think I'm gonna make that a whole nother video. I think I'm gonna get ready to end it. I think I'm gonna just make this shit a whole nother video. But yeah, like I don't see my life getting no better no time soon. I just don't see it getting no better, man. I've never been thinking about taking myself out more than I have these past few months. Y'all have a good one, man. Y'all be safe. Bye-bye.